Welcome guys. Today in this video we will be looking at Vector, which is a very underrated weapon in this game. Vector is a really powerful gun in my opinion. I mean it can literally knock off the opponent in a blink of an eye. It can be the deadliest weapon sometime, but the way how it is designed makes it kinda weak sometimes. Let me explain why I think Vector is so strong and powerful. Obviously the first thing we need to look at is its damage information. Here's the Vector's damage information, as well as its damage for every level of helmet and vests. It has a base damage of almost 33, also known as chest damage. 33 is kinda average damage for an SMG, but if we compare every other SMG's damage here, Vector's damage is very close to being low, but it's kinda average. However, we are ignoring the MP5K here, because MP5K is a Vikendi map exclusive, and also Karakan I believe, so the Vector gets replaced by MP5K in Vikendi map. A lot of you would assume that in a direct gunfight between Vector versus UMP would win because it has higher damage and it's quite popular nowadays. But let me break it down for you. The Vector will destroy UMP every single time. It may not have higher damage, but it can shoot faster and recovers that slightly less damage by shooting approximately 64% faster than UMP. So here's the rate of fire. Vector can shoot almost 19 bullets per second, whereas the UMP can shoot up to 11.5 bullets per second, and the Uzi, which is the fastest firing weapon in the game, and it shoots almost 22 bullets per second, so the rate of fire definitely plays a critical role in every weapon. If we combine damage and rate of fire, we will get damage per second, which tells us exactly how much damage it can do to your opponent in a second, so we will know how powerful the weapon is. So the Vector has a DPS of 620 approximately, and here is the DPS for all the other SMGs. UMP and Tommy gun are almost at 500 DPS, nowhere near as Uzi. Keep in mind, the higher the DPS is, the deadlier it is. For example, AKM only has 480 DPS, only airdrop weapons like MG3 and MK14 can outperform Vector's high DPS. So the Vector's gun power is almost like MG3 and MK14 are very close to them. If the Vector is really this powerful, then why nobody is using it? Well, Vector is suffering from its own success. It shoots so fast that it empties its magazine very quickly, leaving you vulnerable. By default it only comes with 19 rounds, and it takes only 1 second to empty that 19 rounds. So you have to run Vector with an extended mag which gives you 33 rounds. Again, it takes less than 2 seconds to empty those 33 rounds. So the main disadvantage of the Vector is its low magazine size, which makes it really difficult to use in squads because you can't fight against multiple enemies at the same time since you will be reloading very often. That's gonna make you more vulnerable. So this gun is more suited for solos or duos. It is really good when you are fighting against a single opponent, so you don't have to worry about running out of ammo. Anyway, the next issue that I have noticed is it shoots so fast that it is harder to aim. Sometimes I miss my shots because I find it harder to readjust my aim, especially when it fires this quickly. By the way, I'm playing at 90 FPS and I sometimes find it hard to aim with Vector, so you would have to imagine how hard it is going to be for low-end devices with 30 FPS or lower. Basically, if you have a low-end device, Vector may not be the best weapon for you. Vector has a lot of customization. You can equip grips. I would suggest either vertical grip or laser sight, and of course a tactical stock which helps to reduce the recoil even further down. And now let's talk about the recoil. I know SMGs don't have that much recoil, but let's just compare all the SMGs recoil, except MP5K and P90, since they are map exclusive. Here's the side-by-side recoil comparison. Tommy gun has the highest recoil, but it's just vertical, and it's straight, so it's gonna be very easy to control, and the UMP has the second highest recoil, with an almost straight line, and very easy to control. While the Vector, it does have lower average recoil, but it has the highest amount of horizontal recoil in SMGs, which you can notice here. However, in my opinion, I think Vector has more recoil than it shows. Let me explain how and why. So the Vector shoots so fast, and its recoil goes up very quickly, especially when we compare it to other SMGs like UMP. I've been using Vector for the past few days and I noticed its recoil is sometimes hard to control. It's mostly because I have to pull down the gun very quickly as it shoots so fast. And I just feel like Vector is not the most reliable SMG in my opinion, because it shakes a lot when spraying while scoped in, so you have a higher chance of missing your shots in situations like that. But overall I would say Vector is the most powerful and deadliest weapon in the game, which is also not an airdrop weapon. However, as every weapon has its weaknesses, the Vector's biggest advantage is its biggest weakness. I highly encourage you to try this weapon. Who knows, you might end up liking this weapon. You never know, since it can do this kind of damage like this. By the way, if you want sensitivity settings or control codes, join my Discord server. Here you can find thousands of custom layouts from 2 fingers to 6-finger claw which are shared by other players like you, so you can look at their layout to create your own custom controls. And you could also post your controls and settings here, so it might help other players like you. And also, I will be online on my server, texting and interacting with fans, and maybe if you are lucky you might get a chance to play with me. So join now, link is in description. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. I hope you learned something new. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe for more upcoming videos like this. See you guys in the next one.